Hello everyone and welcome to my review of Tails Sky Patrol. We are here now for a spin-off game not starring Sonic. This is the first game in this Sonic marathon that I'm doing that doesn't star Sonic. He's not even in this sucker. My god, no Sonic, no Eggman. What are we even doing? Can this even really be a Sonic game? Well, I'll tell you more about that. So Tails Sky Patrol was originally released on April 28th, 1995 as an exclusive game in Japan. And it remained that way for many years. However, it did see overseas releases eventually being included in collections in the early 2000s. Tails Sky Patrol was originally developed by the Japanese system house JSH. I'm having to go to acronyms, just leave me alone. As an educational game completely unrelated to the Sonic series. It was planned to be a launch title for another company's monochrome handheld video game system. The system was intended as a cheaper alternative to Nintendo's Game Boy, but with a more educational focus. What could possibly go wrong? However, the system was cancelled before the company even put out a press release. You know what? Small mercy. In order to recoup some of the cost of making the game, which had been completed, the developers were asked if they could get the game running on the Game Gear, which had similar hardware specs and screen resolution to the cancelled system. JSH's business team approached Sega, who decided that Tails would be the star of the game. The gameplay remained the same for the most part, but changes were made to the world design to better fit the new license. Character graphics were redrawn, and the game balance was adjusted for the new hardware. A training stage and demo scenes were also added. The April 1995 edition of the Sega Video Game Magazine featured gameplay footage of a prototype version of Sky Patrol. In the footage of the second stage boss, Tails is shown fighting the popular Disney cartoon villain Pete, rather than Behringer. In response to a comment on Twitter, observing the Tails Sky Patrol villains look more like Disney characters than Sonic characters, programmer Alice Kagamino, yes, stated that they could not go into specifics, but that the enemy designs carried the same impression as the originals. Japanese system house, who had by then renamed themselves Blocks, later sought out to Biox, not Blocks. I'm looking at a screen and the eye looks like an L. Later sought to port the game to Game Boy Color while replacing all Sonic elements with original characters. While the port was completed under the new name Boon Boon Kaboon, it was ultimately cancelled due to unspecified contractual reasons. So that is a brief history there on Tails Sky Patrol. So, the plot of the game. Set before Sonic 2, Tails sets off for a solo adventure and finds an isolated island. He finds the terrain covered by steel rails and devoid of animals. A woman named Witchcart proclaims herself the ruler of the island and sends her minions Hawkwolf, Behringer, and Karatita, I think, to patrol on the island. Tails resolves to overthrow Witchcart. So that is the plot of the game. This takes place before Tails meets Sonic. So before he meets Sonic, Tails is already being a hero. Now, I don't know if I like that. I got no problem with this being, Tails on his own stepping up, but maybe this should come after Sonic 2 when he can be more empowered by Sonic, seeing what Sonic does. I feel like maybe that would have worked better. So the gameplay, it's a side scroller. The camera moves on its own, so you don't control the camera. The camera's moving on its own, so you got to keep moving to follow the camera. Tails is always flying. That's the gameplay of this game. You're not on the ground. It's not like a traditional Sonic 2D platformer. Tails is always in the air flying, and he never stops. He never stops flying. You could only slow him down or speed him up, but he will always be flying and moving. And now we get to the part of the game which, is a big problem. If Tails touches anything, he dies. You heard me right. He touches the ground, he dies. He touches a wall, he dies. Tails touches anything of the terrain, and he insta-dies.
What? What the fuck?
What fucking fentanyl-injecting dumbass decided, yep, we're gonna do that for a fucking Game Gear game designed for children? The hell is wrong with you? And this was supposed to be an educational game, so it would have been for really small kids. How the fuck were they gonna do this? If Tails gets hit by like an enemy projectile or something, he doesn't insta-die there. He just spins around forever, and 9 times out of 10, he'll spin around all the way down to the bottom of the floor and die. So if you get hit by anything, you're pretty much guaranteed you're fucked as well. So it's essentially don't hit or touch anything while you play this game. I'm sorry, I didn't know I was playing fucking Flappy Bird. He also has an energy bar up top, which depletes as the level goes on. So you can replenish that by him eating mint candy, which is canonically Tails' favorite food. Which I believe this is where that came about, or it may have been in another Sonic game and they just took that here, but he eats mint candy, so at least that's lore consistent. Tails always carries a ring with him, which is like a boomerang. It's your projectile, it's how you hit things. You throw the ring at people, and you can also use it to latch onto things like poles, and you can spin on the poles, or you latch onto like mine carts, which help you move along. You can use it to grab enemies at times, so they have that. Gameplay. So on the whole, the gameplay of this game, it fucking sucks. It's dog shit. It's absolute fucking dog shit. Whoever came up with the idea that touching one thing insta-kills you, you need to be punished for your sins. Your sins upon this world. Why the hell would you decide that's a good idea? And him getting hit by projectiles and just... He spins forever, dude. Like, the spin is literally like 30 seconds of spinning. Like, I can go take a piss and come back and this motherfucker would still be spinning down and hitting the fucking floor. It's unbearable, dude. Unfucking bearable. No checkpoints either, by the way, too, so you gotta do this all in one fucking run. Good luck. Good fucking luck. The energy bar being depleted and the mint candy to replenish it, that's a fine mechanic. I don't think I'd hate that. If the main gameplay wasn't ass. He's always flying, you can never stop, the screen is scrolling on its own. Fuck that shit, dude. This might be genuinely one of the worst fucking games I've ever played. Like, holy shit. Like, it's that bad, dude. When the training area is so piss poor that I can barely get past the fucking training area, you have a problem. So the levels. There is the training area, which sucks ass. Rail Canyon. Yes, Rail Canyon. It is not that Rail Canyon from Sonic Heroes. They probably took the name, and if they probably, two things. They either didn't know Rail Canyon was used before, and they used it, or they knew, and they're like, fuck it, no one played this fucking game. Yeah. Rail Canyon, hard. It's a hard fucking level. It's the first official level, and it's hard as hell. We have Ruin Woods, which is simpler than Rail Canyon, not as hard as Rail Canyon. Metal Island is the easiest one of them all. That one I actually had very little problem with. And then Dark Castle is hell on earth and makes me want to take a bath with a toaster. So, yeah. The levels aren't good. The levels in this game aren't fucking good. I should say there is something in this in every level where there is like these like panels, which like, oh my god, this is why doing something like this in a 2D game is not the best thing to do. So the panel essentially goes from like open to closed, but it's hard to tell when it's open and closed because this is a fucking 2D game. I don't have that fucking perception. And even worse, it's an 8-bit 2D game. If this was in something like a modern 2D game, like say the style of something like maybe a Sonic Superstars, it'd be a lot easier to tell if it was, you know, open or closed. But this is a fucking 8-bit 2D game from 1995. The bosses. So, Rail Canyon has Huckwolf. Whatever, you just kind of keep throwing. The bosses, okay, here we go. So, Ruin Woods is Behringer, Metal Island is Caradia, and Dark Castle is Witchcard. Literally every single boss is you just flying and throwing the ring constantly at them. That is every fucking boss. There's no depth to any of them. Not like any other game where the bosses are different. The bosses are all the fucking same in this game. This game was re-released 3 times. 3 times too fucking many. It was in Sonic Adventure DX. It was unlocked after you completed 60 missions. It's in the Sonic Gems collection. Doesn't fucking... The word Sonic Gems collection means it's an underrated gem, a lost gem, a jewel. This game isn't even fucking cool.
Shut the fuck up. Know your fucking place, trash.
And then, of course, Sonic Origins, where I played it because all the Game Gear games are in it. This game should have stayed in fucking Japan. Holy fucking shit. It is dog ass. This game sucks. Every fucking thing about this game is shit. Maybe I'll give the graphic design and parts of the soundtrack a pass. But when your core gameplay is absolute dog shit, when your bosses have zero nuance to it, when you have level design wacky all over the fucking place, when even something that is maybe what should be the simplest thing is taking me 10 fucking minutes, you have a problem. And again, whoever decided that any time you hit anything you die must be severely punished. And it's not just you hit anything, it's like you graze it, you're dead, dude. Like, it's very fucking, like, sensitive about that shit. It's fucking stupid. So on the whole, Tales Skypatrol, I'm giving it a 1 out of 10. This game's fucking shit. It's absolute ass. It's the worst game I've played this whole goddamn marathon. Alright? I have played all 4 Sonic Genesis games. I played the 2 platformers on the Game Gear, Chaos and Triple Trouble. I played the 2 racing games on Game Gear. This is one of the worst Sonic games ever out there. I'm fucking serious, dude. Like, we're talking, I would honestly put this shit in, like, territory of, like, Sonic 06, fucking Sonic Genesis port, the Sonic, GBA port of Sonic 1, right? Like, we're talking that fucking dog shit. And what makes this even worse is that this game was actually fucking finished. It's a full game. It's a full game, but it's just shit. And I fucking struggle to imagine how, if this game really was gonna be a Disney game, it would have been probably one of the worst Disney games out there. No question. People would look back at, like, Disney games and be like, oh yeah, this game fucking sucked. But now, it's not a Disney game, it's a Sonic game. So now we look back upon this game as a Sonic game, we're like, this game fucking sucks. Tales Skypatrol is awful. Don't fucking play it. Don't waste your fucking time with it. If you can speedrun this game, you can beat it pretty quick. I fucking couldn't. So I didn't beat it quick. So there we go. That is Tales Skypatrol, the worst fucking game I've played so far. I'm sure I'm gonna get worse. Just you fucking wait. But not a good start for Tales when your first spin-off game is dog ass. So there we go. Have you played Tales Skypatrol? If you have, why? What's wrong with you? So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time with hopefully a better game.